Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So today we're going to have a quick chat around artifact cards, and more specifically artifact set bonuses and card sets as they're more commonly referred to. So I'll kind of be going through the ones that I have, the ones that I recommend you guys kind of invest into from my experience and from my kind of educated guesstimate. As you guys can see, I don't have all of them. I've got about 60 odd percent of them. So definitely a decent amount, but there is obviously a few that I don't have. But I'll go through kind of the ones that I've invested in and why, the ones I recommend picking up and investing in, and then obviously, you know, some special mentions and stuff like that. If you guys do have the ones that I don't have and I palm them off and they're actually really good, feel free to shout me out in the comment section below and tell me I'm an idiot. Like I said, this is all kind of just my personal preference and like why I invest in the ones I have and why I would recommend certain ones, right? So let's get stuck into it. So the very first one I have at the top, we're just going to go top to bottom, honestly, and this is the Guardian of Istal card set, and honestly, this is also known as the Healing card set. As you can see, I've got this one fully invested into. I would recommend this one if you don't have especially the other bird card sets, right, or the deer card sets. This one's really helpful for the bird if you don't have the other ones, just because, as you can see, anytime an ally is debuffed from the skill, you restore 5% of max HP at full. I believe it starts at 1%. So when you have it maxed out at 5%, this is actually really helpful and can often full heal you, you know, if you take like an AoE damage during the bird, and that'll also, you know, proc Magelda's Holy Relic as well. So it's actually really decent, and if you don't have the other ones, definitely recommend investing in it. Honestly, since investing in it, I got the bird and the deer ones, also the deer one pretty quickly after it, so I haven't used it as much, to be honest, but still a very good card set, and also can be helpful just in general, right? If you get a boss that debuffs you, it'll help you heal as well. The next couple is the Howlex and then the Red Demon Deathmatch. I recommend investing in these. These just mean that you clear them faster. Red Demon maybe not so much. Howlex can get annoying if you're doing Hell towards the end, so definitely one to potentially use. They're only level 3, so it doesn't take too much to level them up and max them out. So yeah, again, something I would definitely recommend investing in if you do those through and clear those through quickly. Not at the top priority list, but you know, definitely worth taking a look at. Next one is the Fight Festival, right? Decreases allies' damage taken from ultimate moves by 2% in Elite. There's much better card sets. I wouldn't recommend investing in this one. I mean, it's semi-relevant, I guess, almost at the moment if you level it up, because it means that you know, it's actually kind of relevant for the alt rush meta that we kind of got at the moment, but it's only 6% right at level 3, so I don't know if I'd recommend it. There's definitely better card sets to be running. Single increase allies damage dealt by single targets by 2% in Fort Solgris Enhanced Evolution and Gold Dungeons. This card set is a real shame. This would have been wicked if it was just all skills, right? If this was just AoE skills as well by increase of 10%, this would have been a really good card set to run for like gold farming and stuff like that. Just obviously because you're generally running AoE heroes, right, for gold farming and for clearing through Fort Solgris dungeons. So unfortunately, this one isn't anywhere near as good as it could have been, as we maybe hoped it to be. So I don't know if I'd really recommend this. You're not really going to get a lot of benefit from this one, unfortunately. It's almost better just to run like a max CC cards, like your max CC cards, yeah. Holy Knights, the increased starting grade allies basic stats by 6% in PvP, and what are we doing at max? It's 30%. That could be fun. It's still going to be nowhere near decent enough or worth it enough, right? Unfortunately, which is a shame, but could be fun. But it's way down on the list, right? Like, do it if you're running like a meme team for PvP for a bit of fun. Don't do it if you are just like looking at cards to invest in. So could be fun, but don't do it right now. This one recovers 1% of max HP at the start of ally's turn if you're taking damage. At max, it's 2%. The other card set is better. Like, this is okay. Like, it could be kind of helpful, but excludes PvP and Deathmatch, so it's really only for like event bosses and maybe story modes. So doesn't have as much I suppose, general use. It might be worth it if you guys need the extra heals like that on top of the red Liz passive will give you 12%, so it could be worse, but not up there for me at least personally. Increase allies damage dealt to enemies by 1%, and what are we doing at max? We're at 5%. Again, there's better damage dealing card sets than this one. This is more of a generalistic one. Again, it excludes PvP and Deathmatch, right? So, not bad, but again, it's definitely not high on my list either. Taken from attack skills, like this one could actually be pretty decent. Reduce damage taken from attack skills by 10% in PvP Fight Festival. Definitely could be worse, right? If you're especially trying to build like a tanky team, or maybe you're going second. Again, I think there's better card sets to potentially run, depending on the team that you're running. But again, you know, not bad, could be worse. Not at my top, but definitely not down the bottom. Same kind of thing with this one. This is a reduction of obviously 10%. For the 7 deadly sins versus just attack skills. This one's probably better just because it's overall damage, right? This is specifically attack skills, so this one's probably better overall, especially if you're obviously running the 7 deadly sins team. Again, not at the top, but not bad at all. Now this one I really like. As you can see, I've actually invested in it to max. If you've got a goddess team for PvP, this actually is very strong. I've tested it with and without it, and they actually do some serious numbers with this. So increasing your goddess allies damage dealt to enemies by 10% is very nice, especially when you stack a few holy relics and stuff in there as well. So I think that's worth investing in. Obviously, if you do have a goddess team. If you don't, maybe save it for a bit later, but when you build up a goddess team, definitely fun to run for PvP. Increase basic stats of allies with their Ragnarok characteristic 1% for every debuff applied to enemies. This is good, right? Like if you've got a Ragnarok team, you're looking at what, like 18% for all the debuffs. Especially if you're running like Wedding Brunhild with, you know, the standard Ragnarok team. I think that's actually a really good card set to have. I haven't invested in it just because I haven't built up my Ragnarok team yet, but it could definitely be good. It's basically like almost like the goddess version, right? You increase all your basic stats, so really strong, and it doesn't have any limitations, right? So you can use it PvP, PvE, any of that good stuff. So definitely not a bad card set at all to have there. Resistance, I mean, at 5%, at level 5, it's 20% increase in resistance, which is actually a heck of a lot resistance increase, but it doesn't really have its place, you know what I mean? Like, there's not really a place you'd run it. The only place where resistance and, like, wanting to get patience is kind of important is, like, in the king team, in the dogs, and you're running the dogs card set there, right? So, not, like, cool in theory, but, like, because this is a big number, but not enough for it to like replace some of the other ones. It's not as important. This one is what I'm currently trying to work on. I want to get this to level 5. I'm almost there. I'm getting there. But basically, increased demon dealt, as you can see, right? Oh no. Gotta go all the way back down. Where are we? There we go. So increased demon allies damage dealt to other races by 8% and decreased damage by 4% for me. Once it gets to level 5, it'll be 10% and 5%. This one is definitely worth investing in. Again, if you've got run the demon team, right? I'm just built a demon team, so this is going to be my main card set I run for pretty much everything to do with that demon team. Really strong, again, when you're running a demon team, right? I'm going to say demon team one more time just for fun. But yes, definitely worth investing in. I recommend that one if you have the right heroes for it. The deer card set, 100% worth investing in all the way up. You want to have this at max for when you take on the dogs specifically. Having, you know, the ability to basically become immune to freeze is really helpful when I think it's hardy, just randomly freezes you. So, oh, there's my noise cancellation piece. So yeah, really, you know, make sure you invest in this one, especially if you're planning on doing dogs, right? Increase allies' basic stats by 1% and decrease damage taken by 2%. If an ally, again, like, if they get good in PvP, then sure. Like, if you have a 7 Catastrophes PvP team, then maybe worth investing in, but it really comes down to, you know, if you've got a team and if you think it's worth spending the mats for it at the moment. At the max, it'll be, I mean, if an ally with 7 catastrophes characteristics is alive in PvP. So, I mean, could be worse, right? Because it increases all basic stats, even if one of them, right? If an ally, if I'm reading that correctly. So yeah, if you've got like a strong 7 catastrophes hero on your team, like maybe you're using Christmas Lily or something like that, but I think there's better PvP artifacts for that, right? Increase HP related stats of unknown races by 1% and decrease their damage taken by 2% if they are debuffed. Again, really strong if you're building an unknown team. As you guys can see, right, there's a few kind of not similarities, but like there's a set kind of thing. Each race and each kind of team will have their own kind of card set. Again, if you've got a really good card set, really good unknown team, definitely worth investing in. What are we looking at max? Yeah, increase HP related stats by 5% and decrease damage taken by 10%. So it can be really helpful, especially if you're going up against other unknown teams or you're doing anything like boss related or debuff related. I wouldn't really recommend this one. There's definitely better card sets, like increase human allies damage dealt by 10% in knighthood boss battle. It's so specific, right? It's so specific. So it's just not worth it. Like I said, maybe towards the end if you specifically use humans in the boss battles, but most people use goddesses anyway, most of the time. So yeah, for me, I wouldn't recommend this one. I haven't tried this one out, and I feel like it potentially could be not bad, depending on what team you're obviously running. But again, so it basically decreases damage by 10%, increases regeneration rate up to 5 times. So that's really good. So that's a 25% increase. So that can actually be really almost goated when you're maybe running like a Sari or Green Sariel with, Holy Relics from him and Tarmiel. So that could be really, really good. Whether it's better than like, say, the Goddess PvP card set, I wouldn't know. You guys will have to tell me in the comments below if anyone's invested in this and tried it out. But it's got some very cool artwork around Escanor there. So could be good, but I don't know. Again, it's very specific, right? You need to have stances up. So maybe it might be worth having. Who knows? As you guys can see, I don't have, now we're into the ones that I don't have. Decreases allies damage taken by 2% in Deathmatch. Wouldn't recommend this. Like if you're doing the basic demons on Hell, you're not really too worried about damage because they don't hit too hard. And then if you're doing the Belmoth and OG Demon, you don't really want to take damage at all, or you want to use the card set specific for that as well. So decreases allies damage taken by 2%, don't really think it's necessary for you guys. Increases allies damage dealt with single target attack skills by 2%. It'll scale up to, I think it's 5 or maybe 10. Again, not really necessary. Super specific. It doesn't include PvP. It doesn't include Deathmatch. If you're going to do this for even like the bird or deer, I'd recommend the actual one that does this for you. So yeah, wouldn't recommend this one. Again, I've still just got to get Skinny King, but once I do, I'll invest in this one just because it's a demonic deathmatch one. It'll increase my damage by 10%. It's just helpful to have, right? Only goes up to level 3, so it doesn't take that many mats. Same thing with the Belmoth one, just increases total damage dealt, right? Which will be quite nice to have. Nice to have if you run an Angels team in Brawl. I actually do, so it might be helpful to run that card set on them. But again, very, very, very specific. Damage dealt by just the 4 Archangels by a certain amount in Brawl, right? So helpful, but not worth investing in, at least until you've done all the other ones, right? Again, increase all stats of allies with 7 catastrophes characteristic 1%. Once that's leveled up, it'll be 5%. Useful if you've got a 7 catastrophes team. If you don't, then skip. Decrease allies damage taken from enemies by 1%. Very generalistic, but no PvP, no deathmatch. So if you're trouble having tanking some storyline modes or something like that, it might be worth it. But for the stats that it gives, it's almost worth just going for your highest card set as well, right? I'm really hoping they bring out some more card sets. The more I'm going through this, the more I'm kind of a little bit disappointed. But hey. Increase Fairy Allies basic stats and Brawl by 2%. Again, super specific. Nah, skip. Don't worry about it. I wouldn't recommend it. I don't know how many people run a Fairies team in Brawl anyway, so they're very underwhelming at the moment until they get a bit of a buff or whatever it is. Increase allies single target damage dealt to enemies by 4% in Demonic Beast Battle. This is the one obviously I want to try and get. I just need to get Margaret's card from the PvP shop. I'm really excited to test this out. This and obviously the other Demonic Beast card set are ones that you do want, and I'm going to invest in both of them fully. Do you need both fully maxed out? Probably not. You could probably get away with just one, but I'm really looking forward to doing this and testing it and seeing how much extra damage we can actually pump out. So it depends whether you want to go straight for damage, right, or the other one is basic stats, so it boosts everything. So the other one I would say maybe might be marginally better, but this could be a lot of fun as well, so I'm keen to give this one a go. Increase the attack of all allies with their Ragnarok characteristics by 0.5% for each buff applied to the enemies on a battlefield. Super specific, right? Super. For each buff that the enemy has. So I probably wouldn't recommend this one. If you're going to go the Ragnarok one, go the other card set instead. Increase HP related stats of allies 10% or less by 10% for one turn. Nah, once you're below 10%, this is not going to help you really, right? Like, this is not going to help you survive, so I would give this one a miss as well. Increase starting grade SR allies basic stats by 5% in PvP. Again, a bit of fun if you want to. I think it'll go up to 20% or 30% like the R ones. A bit of fun, but definitely not the first thing I'd recommend investing in. This is the April Fool's one, so I mean, just it's a skip, right? Increase allies basic stats by 0.1% for each hero on the battlefield. This is just a laugh, so don't bother with this one. And lucky last, the OG Demon Deathmatch. It's actually not as good as the other ones because it just ignores 20% of the enemy's defense when using skills. So again, I haven't tried it, so I can't tell you guys for sure whether it's worth your time or not. Maybe once it's fully invested, it will, you know, avoid like maybe 100% of the stats. So that could be 100% of defense. So that could be worth it. But yeah, I don't know. I'll have to give that one a go. So that one is a big question mark for me. Again, if anyone's got it, let me know in the comments below if you think it's worth it for all the peeps on the video. But yeah, so that's kind of my recommendations, guys. Like I said, I don't obviously have a few of them, but the ones I do have, hopefully it helps in terms of what I recommend investing in. Apologies if this one was a little bit more chaotic, the video. I felt like I was a bit all over the place. But I hope that helped. And as always, I will catch you guys in the next one. Cheers.